Everyone, you're watching News Epicentre with me, Maria Shakil. The war over liquor gate continues in the national capital between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party, escalating on a daily basis ever since the CBI raided Deputy Chief Minister of Delhi, Manish Sisodia, who also handled the excise department. The BJP today shared a sting operation involving Kulwinder Marwa, whose son, Sunny Marwa, is an accused in the alleged Delhi liquor scam. The sting operation video alleges that blacklisted companies were given licenses by the Kejriwal government, adding that 80% of the profits from liquor sales went to the Delhi government. The video alleges that liquor merchants were given the permission to open as many shops as they wanted, as long as the 80% commission criteria was met. It is allegedly claimed by Kulwinder Marwa that he gave 250 crore for 1 year to the Delhi government as commission, while many others ended up paying 500 crore. The BJP has appealed to other liquor merchants to make similar videos and reveal how much commission they had to pay to the Delhi government, calling the sting slam dunk evidence of the Aam Aadmi Party's corrupt excise policy, a policy which the Kejriwal government decided to discontinue. Manish Sisodia, the man at the centre of the storm, hit back at the BJP, calling the sting operation a joke, saying unverified videos are evidence of nothing, adding that he has many such videos that will embarrass the BJP. Sisodia called the Saffron Party desperate, claiming the CBI has found no evidence of corruption. This also comes as the Aam Aadmi Party is calling for a CBI probe against the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi, claiming Vinay Kumar Saxena got 1,400 crore of demonetized currency exchanged at banks by his subordinates in November 2016 as chairman of the Khadi and Villages Industries Corporation. The party also alleges Saxena violated rules by awarding a contract to design a Khadi lounge to his daughter, demanding the Prime Minister to sack him immediately. The party says the absence of action from the central agency reveals it has become a political tool in the hands of the BJP. The war of words is far from over between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party. But can there be smoke without a fire? Is the evidence against the Aam Aadmi Party in the Liquorgate scandal only mounting? Or is this no more than a political campaign of to dismantle the party's anti-corruption image? Before I take those questions to the guests, here's what happened today.
स्टिंग मास्टर का स्टिंग हो गया है।
फिर वो कोई सड़क पे चौराहे पे खड़े होकर किसी को गाड़ी पे बिठा के कुछ कहते हैं, उसके कोई सवाल जवाब करते हैं, वो स्टिंग है, मजाक है।
Another day, another war of words over the now scrapped Delhi excise policy. Today, the BJP released what it called the Liquorgate sting, where the father of one of the accused allegedly confesses to taking bribes.
253 करोड़ ले लिया। जाओ, तू जितने मर्जी दुकाना करो, जो मर्जी करो।
The BJP claimed the sting has sealed Delhi Deputy Chief Minister Manish Sisodia's fate.
ये सारा का सारा स्टिंग, जिसको अंग्रेजी में कहते हैं ना, फ्रॉम द हॉर्सेस माउथ, उस व्यक्ति के मुंह से सुनेंगे जो व्यक्ति खुद मनीष सिसोदिया जी के हाथों में पैसा पकड़ाता था।
आम आदमी पार्टी के पास कोई जवाब नहीं। अरविंद केजरीवाल का चेहरा बेनकाब हुआ। ये बेवड़ी सरकार, कट्टर भ्रष्टाचार, ये अरविंद केजरीवाल की पहचान है।
Then Sisodia himself had a counter press conference and dismissed the alleged sting operation.
अब जब सीबीआई से एक तरह से क्लीन चिट मिल गई कि जी इनके पास तो कुछ नहीं मिल रहा, तो अब बीजेपी कह रही है जी देखो सीबीआई नहीं ढूंढ पाई, अब हम स्टिंग करके देंगे। फिर वो कोई सड़क पे चौराहे पे खड़े होकर किसी को गाड़ी पे बिठा के कुछ कहते हैं, उसके कोई सवाल जवाब करते हैं, वो स्टिंग है, मजाक है ये तो।
He also made a startling allegation against the CBI.
ये बहुत दुखद घटना है कि सीबीआई के एक अधिकारी को, जिसको दिख रहा था कि पूरा का पूरा मामला फर्जी है, उसके ऊपर इतना दबाव बनाया गया गलत काम करने के लिए कि उसको आत्महत्या करने पर मजबूर होना पड़ा।
The CBI raided Manish Sisodia's residence and scanned his bank locker in connection with the liquor scam. Sisodia is accused number 1 in CBI's FIR. But he and the Delhi Chief Minister Arvind Kejriwal claim the BJP is using agencies to target the Aam Aadmi Party because it is threatened by its rising popularity. In this now unending BJP-Aam Aadmi Party war, the next salvo is likely to be around the corner.
And joining me now, Sanju Verma, National Spokesperson of the BJP, Neeraj Mishra representing the Congress, Sumansi Raman is political analyst, Naresh Goyal is president of Delhi Liquor Traders Association. We also have Rashid Kidwai. Today the Aam Aadmi Party refused to participate in debates. So that's also something that we wanted to tell our viewers. Sumansi Raman, BJP claims this is open admission of commission being paid to acquire licenses through the sting operation. Will Aam Aadmi Party explain, or will they continue to dodge questions?
Maria, I think that, as this case has progressed and the fact that very little has been unearthed during raids on Mr. Sisodia's residence and thereafter on his bank lockers and so on, I think the desperation to somehow, pin something on the Aam Aadmi Party on this liquor issue has been rising exponentially with each passing day. Look, here is a video which is claimed to be a sting video of somebody saying that something was done. Now, there is no corroborative evidence. First of all, was this a sting video? That is the first part. Second, who is the gentleman who's speaking? He is the father of 13th accused in this case. Is what he is saying true? You have no idea. Yet, on national media, that video is played out repeatedly. The purpose is very simple, to malign the reputation of Mr. Sisodia and the Aam Aadmi Party, to establish it that clearly that they have done wrong.
So here is an Aam Aadmi Party sympathizer in Sumansi Raman saying, if anything, this is purported video. The sting operation doesn't have any basis.
One second. No, Maria, I did not say that this video is fake. All I am saying is, whenever a video comes out, the first thing is there needs to be some kind of corroborative evidence.
So basically you're saying that this is more of a desperate bid by the BJP because according to Aam Aadmi Party, there has been nothing found on Mr. Sisodia during the raids that were conducted.
Even the BJP has not said anything was found. Neither has
but what can the BJP say? What can the BJP say if the investigative agencies have to say it? Yes.
Agencies have not said it.
Yes, Sanju Verma.
Agencies have not said it.
Yes, agencies have also not said it. Yes, I agree.
Mr. Raman, I did not interrupt you. Thank you. Maria, Sumansi Raman used a very interesting term, corroborative evidence. Yes, I agree. Why should one believe in a sting video of Kulvinder Marwa, who is the father of accused number 1313, Sunny Marwa? But I have every reason to believe that when the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi, who holds a constitutional position, and in the public domain, he's putting his credibility on the line and raising a few pertinent questions, you can't just shove them under the carpet saying this is a case of political vendetta. I will just take 10 seconds, Maria. There's a tweet on the 1st of September 2022 at 4:07 p.m. by the Lieutenant Governor V.K. Saxena, where he says grave anomalies in the excise policy were later withdrawn by the CM, that is Kejriwal. Inordinate delay of 2.5 years in acting on the CVC report with respect to irregularities in construction of classrooms in Delhi government schools. Point number 3, files not being signed by CM Kejriwal. He only says seen and approved, which is not the convention. Point number 4, CAG audit has not been conducted in many state universities. Point number 5, cabinet notes are reaching me after cabinet meeting rather than before the cabinet meeting, which is the past precedence. And last but not the least, non-availability of water in foreign missions, among others. So let's be clear, Arvind Kejriwal and Manish Sisodia have not covered themselves in glory. The Central Vigilance Commission, the Lieutenant Governor of Delhi, the CBI, there are constitutional bodies and investigative agencies who are on the heels of Sisodia and Kejriwal.
Okay, I want to understand from you, Mr. Naresh Goyal, since you are the president of Delhi Liquor Traders Association. You heard Kulvinder Marwa. This is what the BJP claims. This is, he is of course Sunny Marwa's father. He is saying that he paid 253 crores as commission and then he got the license. He also alleges that 500 crore was paid by certain other traders. Could you give us details, because you are in this business, you would have better idea of what was happening during that time.
मैं ये कहना चाहूँगा कि वो जो वीडियो में दिखाई दे रहे हैं वो हमारे कुलविंदर नाथ मारवा जी हैं, सनी मारवा जी के फादर हैं, इसमें कोई दो राय नहीं है। और उन्होंने किसको क्या दिया है, दूसरों ने किसको क्या दिया है, इसके बारे में तो वही बता सकते हैं, मैं कुछ नहीं बता।
हाँ, लेकिन क्या उस वक्त अगर
ये जरूर है कि वो कुलविंदर नाथ मारवा जी हैं। हाँ, इस पॉलिसी के अंदर मैं आपको पहले भी मैंने आपको कहा है कि जो हमें दिखाई दे रहा है, गेम इससे कहीं बहुत ज्यादा बड़ा है। यहाँ पे एक कंपनी है, मल्टीनेशनल कंपनी पर्नो रिका, जिसमें कि जिनके एक्यूज नंबर 6 मनोज राय जी हैं। ये इनके ऊपर आरोप है कि इन्होंने पॉलिसी बनवाई है और ये पॉलिसी मैन्युफैक्चरिंग कंपनीज, खासतौर पे ये मल्टीनेशनल लीडिंग कंपनी का इसके अंदर प्रॉफिट बहुत ज़्यादा बड़ा है। और मैं आपको दावे से कह सकता हूँ कि इस चीज़ की भी जांच होनी चाहिए कि मनोज राय जी किसके कहने से वहाँ पे बैठे थे। क्या मनोज राय जी को आज क्यों निकाल दिया गया? मनोज राय जी का क्या कसूर था कि उनको कंपनी का एक्स एम्प्लॉय कर दिया गया? क्या मनोज राय जी कोई पर्सनल हित में बैठे थे? क्या पर्नोरिका के लिए कुछ कर रहे थे? ये क्या हो रहा था?
ओके,
ये चीजें भी एक जांच का विषय है।
सुमन सी रमन,
जांच होगी,
सुमन सी रमन,
तो बहुत कुछ
here is someone who is a trader, part of an association, not associated with the BJP or the Aam Aadmi Party or the Congress. He has made some observations and he has been on my shows. In the past also, he has highlighted some glaring flaws. And the fact is that the Aam Aadmi Party, when it was withdrawing this policy, in its own cabinet note, has talked about windfall gains.
Maria, I think we are making a serious mistake and confusing what are in effect policy decisions, some of whom may have been questionable, may have gone wrong, which may needed to have been withdrawn. Governments do this all the time. Central government does it, state governments do it. And you, on the other hand, you are calling these decisions as a scam. A scam needs a money trail. A scam needs a quid pro quo. Neither do we have a quid pro quo here, nor do we have a money trail here. And every decision that has been taken by the Delhi government, which is in full public view, is now being questioned and called a scam. You can say that the Delhi government did not think through the policy properly before implementing.
So you can make the argument that this was a policy not very well thought out, Sanju Verma, rather than looking at it from the scam point of view. Because what the Aam Aadmi Party is also alleging, along which is Mr. Sisodia and others, that why hasn't the CBI come clean on what is the nature of seizure from his home? That has not come out, because after every raid, they put out a public statement talking about what has been seized.
Maria, let me first and foremost tell you one thing very clearly. I'm glad Suman C. Raman used the term money trail, quid pro quo, proceeds of crime. Is there a money trail? Yes. Is there a quid pro quo that gives undue advantage to Manish Sisodia? Yes. Are there proceeds of crime? Yes. I did not interrupt you, please. Maria, this is no way to debate. I did not interrupt Suman C. Raman. Please keep quiet. Have the decency to listen. It's a debate. You can't have a monologue.
There is no money trail.
I am coming to that. Maria, either you get this man to rant or I will not speak.
Sanju, speak, please. Please speak. Yeah.
Suman C. Raman, please keep quiet. Learn to listen. So let me repeat. I will now, let me complete. Please don't interject. Is there a money trail? Yes. Are there proceeds of crime? Yes. Is there a quid pro quo? Yes. And is there a strong case with the CBI? Yes. Now, why do I say that? If you read the entire FIR, which has Manish Sisodia as accused number 1, apart from cheating, there have been provisions under section 477 of the IPC which were flouted by Manish Sisodia, which basically means he used his public power and position to unduly benefit himself and lead to a deliberate loss to the Delhi Exchequer. I just want to tell you one thing, Maria. Do we all know that 144 crore worth of license fee to a certain liquor mafia was waived off? Manish Sisodia has not said no. He has not said yes, but he has not said no either. Is it true that rupees 50 per case of imported beer was waived off? Yes. Is it true that liquor commission was raised from 2% to 12%? Yes.
Maria.
Is it true that the VAT on alcohol is only a measly 1%? Yes. Is it true that every month for the last 6 months there is a monthly loss of 193 crores to the Delhi Exchequer?
Okay.
Yes.
Sumansi Raman, I'm going to come to you. One moment. Neeraj Mishra of the Congress party hasn't said a word.
Did we defy the Delhi
Yes,
excise
let
rules
Neeraj Mishra come in of the Congress party now. Neeraj Mishra, today the BJP put out a sting operation. They are of the opinion that this sting operation is an admission of commission. That there was the larger conspiracy, that there was 80% of the profit will go to the Aam Aadmi Party chief, and that was the modus operandi of that entire excise policy contract distribution. The Congress has been raising it, but certainly as far as the narrative is concerned, it appears to be BJP versus Aam Aadmi Party.
It's sad that the plight of the people of Delhi, the citizen of Delhi, it is being like a football, that they are being played by the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party corrupt duo. I tell you that the BJP is hand in glove with the Aam Aadmi Party. And why this is sad, that the Congress party, which brought this into light, is not being allowed to put its word even on your most respectable channel. I am telling you one thing, that these both parties, when they were supposed to put a halt to the bulldozering of whatever what the Aam Aadmi Party was doing in the name of putting out a new liquor policy, which was nothing but a corrupt policy, the BJP was sitting, the DDA was sitting, the MCD was sitting, and all the deviations of the master plan was going on. So these people who are now taking a moral high ground, that they are the one, the
Sanju, quick response from you, that it is the BJP versus Aam Aadmi Party is the match that is going on, which the Congress is trying to figure out, because they have certainly understood that in most of the states where they are losing the opposition space, it is the Aam Aadmi Party which is occupying it. But in the television space also, it's BJP versus AAP.
Maria,
please,
this is your producer who is giving the television space, but I tell you one thing.
This question was for me, it's not for you.
The first complaint which was filed in this matter,
Are you Sanju Verma? Maria, what kind of a debate is this? You asked me a question. Why is this man interrupting and interjecting? You will get your turn. I did not interrupt you. I did not interrupt you.
Just playing football
Maria,
with the people
can you
of
please
Delhi.
stop this man?
You are not making any valid point. I am here to tell you that this scam came into light because Delhi Congress filed a complaint with the Delhi police.
I refuse to debate, Maria. I refuse to debate.
Hardeep Puri, and even to Mr. Anna Hazare, we wrote a letter.
Okay.
So we
so
people
now,
brought out what is happening now.
But okay, since you have leveled a charge against the BJP that there is some kind of understanding between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party to keep the Congress away from this discourse, what exactly is happening here, Sanju?
Maria, I'm being very clear. Either you give me a chance to speak if you want this face-off. Then please allow the other party to continue.
Okay, go ahead, Sanju. Please go ahead. Yeah.
No, I've seen this, more than once. You keep getting these panelists who keep interjecting the flow of thought.
Okay.
Let me tell you now, Maria, what is the status of the Congress party today? The fact is, Rahul Gandhi out on bail, Sonia Gandhi out on bail, P. Chidambaram out on bail, Nalini Chidambaram out on bail, Karti Chidambaram out on bail, पूरी की पूरी टॉप ब्रास आउट ऑन बेल, और इनके प्रवक्ता यहाँ बैठकर नैतिकता का भाषण बीजेपी को दे रहे हैं. इट इज लाइक उल्टा चोर कोतवाल को डांटे. इट इज लाइक उल्टा चोर कोतवाल को डांटे. चुप हो जाओ.
Anybody can be accused and
You
he's
cannot
liable to
moderate
get a
the
bail.
debate. What
So
kind of
this
a
is a
debate is
judicial
this?
process. And you people really don't believe in the judiciary of this country. This is very sad on your part.
Okay. You have made your point. 20 seconds to you, Sanju Verma, quickly, and then I bring in Rashid. Yeah.
No, not 20 seconds. You've allowed people to interject me. I will take my full 30 seconds.
Okay.
And let me be very clear. First and foremost, the Congress is nowhere in the equation, neither in Delhi nor in any part of India. सिवा टीवी स्टूडियो में आकर जोर-जोर से चिल्लाने के इनका कोई अस्तित्व नहीं बचा. I want to ask the Aam Aadmi Party, Maria, why is it, for a moment if I have to assume that the LG is against Kejriwal, the BJP is scared of Kejriwal, मुझे एक बात बताओ, till date, the BJP has repeatedly asked Arvind Kejriwal and Manish Sisodia, what is your connection with Dinesh Arora, with Arun Pillai, with Arjun Pandey, with Vijay Nair? And Manish Sisodia actually ran away from the press conference when the name of Vijay Nair was mentioned. Vijay Nair is neither connected with the alcohol industry nor is he a bureaucrat. Then how is it that Vijay Nair is one of the kingpins of this entire excise policy related imbroglio? Vijay Nair का पूरी excise policy में क्या योगदान है? Why is Manish Sisodia not coming clean?
Okay, I'll take that question to Sumansi Raman, but before that, Rashid, your opening and closing comments. I'm sorry, we have just a limited time here. Rashid, increasingly what we are seeing here on this issue, it's 2-3 press conferences by the BJP, 2-3 press conferences by the Aam Aadmi Party, it's press conference, counter press conferences. In terms of optics, would you certainly give it to the Aam Aadmi Party that they are playing the game that the BJP would have wanted?
Yes, absolutely. But Maria, I find this entire controversy as a theater of the absurd. If any kind of wrongs have happened and corruption has taken place and there is evidence, then the party spokespersons for and against seems to be knowing everything, and they are so convinced that there is that fine line between accused and convict is totally blurred. So what are the investigation agencies doing? They, as you remember, Maria, when there was in Uddhav Thackeray government, 2 ministers were arrested. In Bengal government, a minister has been arrested. But in Delhi, this hasn't happened. And there are allegations and counter allegations. Now, this is not between 2 political parties. Crime, corruption is a very serious business. There are agencies which owe their existence to the constitution, and they are supposed to do
exactly
it
is my point then to Sumansi Raman. Sumansi Raman, there is an investigative agency. CBI is doing its part. But then Mr. Manish Sisodia says something in his press conference to which CBI says that this is mischievous and misleading statement. So you are certainly playing to the gallery. Now this gallery is who I want to understand.
Of course, Mr. Manish Sisodia has every right to play to the gallery. He is being taken to the cleaners every other day. His house is being raided. His bank lockers are being raided. He is being called a crook and criminal on national television with zero evidence produced to back up those charges. And what do you expect him to do? He is a politician. If he doesn't try to take the offensive to the BJP, then he is not fulfilling his role. By the way, Maria, I want to make this point. Sanju Verma, who has spoken for 90% of the time on this debate, has still not told us where is the money trail, where is the quid pro quo, and where are the proceeds of crime. She is simply repeating this. There is a money trail, there is a money trail. So tell us where it is.
Maria,
where is the quid pro quo? Where is the quid pro quo?
I think Sumansi Raman has given up on logic and reasoning. I want to ask you, how is it that there is a loss of 193 crores every month? How is there a loss of 193 crores to the Delhi Exchequer every month, Mr. Sumansi Raman? 193 crores monthly loss to the Delhi Exchequer. Please use your brains for a change. Please use your brains for a change.
You don't.
You have given up on the Congress. Now you have started representing the Aam Aadmi Party. अभी आम आदमी पार्टी का भी क्रियाक्रम शुरू हो गया because you have started representing them.
You got to feel for her.
The best part is that we are ending this discussion with everybody smiling. Thank you so much for joining us. Sanju Verma, Sumansi Raman, Neeraj Mishra, Naresh Goyal and Rashid Kidwai. Shifting focus to our second story, that is Bengaluru. Rain fury has sunk the IT capital of India.
We are coming to you from Sarjapur Road outside the Wipro office. You can see the entire campus approach road has been inundated completely, and this is the scene across Sarjapura Road. Well, not just Sarjapura Road, several IT companies located in Marathahalli and Bomanahalli, and especially in Madhepura zone, have been affected because of heavy rains.
ಎಲ್ಲ ಸಮಸ್ಯೆಗಳನ್ನು ಚರ್ಚೆ ಮಾಡಿ ತೀರ್ಮಾನಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡಿ ಪರಿಹಾರ ಕೊಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರ ಕಾನ್ಫಿಡೆನ್ಸ್ ತೋರಿಸ್ತಾರೆ.
For days now, the monsoon season has once again exposed the crumbling infrastructure of one of the biggest cities of India. The lack of an effective drainage system, illegal constructions and encroachments have turned roads into rivers, flooded homes, offices, colleges and schools, sparked traffic jams, lasting hours, hampered essential services, confined thousands of citizens to their homes and delivered a significant blow to Bengaluru's economy. Just on August 30th, Bengaluru's IT companies suffered a loss of 225 crores as the employees were stuck in traffic jams for 5 hours. Chief Minister Basavaraj Bommai has said that the government will talk to IT companies and discuss compensation for losses due to rain-related damages. But once again, it is a band-aid to fix a bigger problem. Urban and public infrastructure experts have identified politics, corruption and disastrous engineering as the main reasons for the flooding in Bengaluru and this never-ending cycle of disasters every monsoon. Let's not forget, in the state budget for 2020-2021, close to 10,000 crore was earmarked to fix Bengaluru's road, traffic and sanitation systems. This is the same city which has a GDP of over 7 lakh crore and hosts the biggest companies in the world. So is it incompetence, is it corruption or is it both? Who will answer the taxpayers when they ask why is there no end to this urban crisis? Joining me now is two prominent Bengalurians, Mohandas Pai, chairman of RN Capital Partners and former CEO of Infosys. We have Harish Bijur, CEO Harish Bijur Consults and brand management consultant. Mr. Pai, you're a prominent Bengalurian and you speak about your city and your state very, very passionately. But Bangalore, it seems, is crumbling. Where do you think it went wrong? Some experts are suggesting that there is some kind of disastrous engineering and unplanned growth which has clogged the city's drains, and this is also because of unplanned population upsurge that has been witnessed by the city.
I think, Maya, the biggest reason why Bangalore is in trouble today with this flooding is corruption. We have building bylaws in India, Bangalore, like all cities, all right? We have maps there where we show the old lakes and the Raja Kalves. Raja Kalves are big natural culverts to take away the flood water. We have it in our revenue maps. Now, these people have allowed somebody to build on top of that. They allowed people to build on the lake beds illegally. Now, it is the result of corruption because much of this is unauthorized construction. Now, unauthorized construction comes up because they're all bribed. They're not following the law. So, the result of the deep-rooted corruption, point number one, is a result of the political class indulging in real estate and making a living out of it and making a lot of money. is a result of the inadequate capacity in the city corporation BBMP. They neither have the capability nor the people to handle a town of $135–140 billion GDP with 12 million people. They don't have the engineering talent. They don't have the quality people. They don't have enough people. And they got a lot of people on deputation. And it's a very corrupt organization. Lastly, is a breakdown of governance of the city. All this has resulted in what you see today.
Mr. Pai, how much do you hold the political class responsible for it, the politicians of the state?
I think the political class is fully responsible because they're in charge of governance of the city. I met the last 5 chief ministers. Everybody wants to do something. Everybody wants to help, but unable to do it. All of them plead helplessness. One chief minister told me about the garbage mafia. He said, what can I do? I can't do anything. I know about this. You know, in garbage tender has not been used for the last many years. They got a stay order and the same people are feeding off the system and not taking the garbage out and charging. They're making money. And I hear that some of the MLAs are involved in the garbage business. And one BBMP commissioner told me the ward councillors and the MLAs take away the work orders, issue it to people of their choice, get the work done and take the bribe. Then they send it to the corporation for money and they don't have money. Now all these contracts saying they're not being paid for 2 years. If you've done 100 crores of work, you're not being paid for 2 years. Do you have that money to sustain? Have you spent that money? That means they're all doing fake billing, right? So what does that mean? The political class, 100%. And the sad thing today, let me put it on record. The chief ministers have been good people. They always said to help and they've taken decision. The secretaries to government, Vidhan Soda have been good people. They support. People at the lower level are not obeying their orders. They're corrupt. They're passing bill, doing all kind of things. It appears the political leaders are helpless. The bureaucracy is helpless to take action against these people. Because many of the people at the bottom have come to the post by paying money to buy the seat. And when you go tell them, why are you asking for bribes? You know what they tell you, Maria? They tell you, look, I paid money to come here. How will I recover my money if you don't pay me a bribe? So that's the kind of talk they do. Even though we make up 20% of the population of Karnataka, we don't have the political power in the assembly. We have got only 26 seats in 228 seats in the legislature because there's been no delimitation since 1971. There's a political failure of urban governance across India and showing up in Bombay, showing up in Bangalore, showing up in all cities.
Yes. Those are very, very valid points raised by Mohandas Pai. Coming on this, Mr. Bijur, does your heart break to see the residents struggle in Bangalore every monsoon? It has become a sinking city.
Well, my heart certainly goes out to my city, which is Bengaluru, and my heart certainly breaks because if you really look at it, it's a beautiful city. It has an ecosystem of work, leisure, and all else, which is perfect. So possibly a city which has got its work-life balance good and correct as well. This kind of a city getting affected by civic chaos, issues such as flooding is really a sad thing for me because it obviously means that we did not prepare the city for the future. And the future is here. You cannot deny it. And in this future, we don't seem to be swimming. We seem to be sinking.
Yes.
And that is my basic worry.
Yes, Bangalore is sinking, and with that, it's drowning its own people as well. Mr. Bijur, you heard from Mr. Pai. He holds the political class responsible. According to you, who is really responsible for this urban mess, and what do you suggest will be the solution?
You see, my real point would be to be very positive about this mess, because out of the mess will come the beauty. Well, blame game, I think that's going to go on for a period of time. But I'm not in the blame game at all. I do believe that every political party and literally the political class from every political party spectrum has been responsible for this. So nobody is above board. And therefore, you will not see the political class criticizing this too much. Because when you point one finger out there are 4 fingers pointing back at you.
That's
right. And I think I would typically say that it's extremely important for us citizens to wake up, sit up, smell the coffee, smell the rain, and smell the drainage. Because it's extremely critical for us to say that, hey, listen, let's sort this problem out. It cannot happen every year. This is a deja vu situation which happens every rain. every year, and we get flooding. 5 days of flooding, 7 days of flooding, severe chaos. It's all over, and we forget it all. Public memory is not only proverbially, but really short as well. I think we need to get out of that sentiment. We need to participate. Citizens need to participate in city decision making. That's very, very clear. Okay. And I hope the political class encourages that.
Okay, Mr. Pai, would you say that efforts have been made in the past to fix this problem? Because it's almost like an evergreen story. These floods visit Bangalore every year with monsoon. Or would you say that the political class almost takes the people for granted?
They made efforts to fix it. S.M. Krishna tried to do it. Then we had the Deve Gowda government and the JDS, which came and said that, urban people are being treated very nicely, and we are a rural thing. Remember, Deve Gowda went after Narayan Murthy. And then we had the Congress come, and Congress came and made good noises, but they're very corrupt. They're all busy making money. Then we had the BJP government, which also turned out to be corrupt earlier. Now the new chief minister has come, and he's trying his best. So reform, they set up committees, they set up everything else. The reports are there. They must implement it. We need a strong political leader who is going to implement it and improve governance. But many of them take it back because they said, urban votes don't matter. What do you matter? I have to get votes from the rural area. The seats are more. I'll give them more goodies, more subsidies, waive their loans. I'll get their votes. Why do you matter? And they stay here. They make money here. It's a terrible state of affairs. You see, Maria, under the constitution, you have a state list, central list, and concurrent list. Then you have the 78, 79 Constitution Amendment to give power to the panchayats. We don't have any Constitution Amendment to give power to cities. We need a Constitution Amendment to give power to cities, to make them autonomous, to have their own sources of taxes so that they have constitutional authority. They're treated like handmaidens of these politicians and state governments. Because India is no longer a rural place. India is an urban place.
Absolutely.
40% plus of population is urban, and people in rural is coming down. And India is going to urbanize faster. We have 7,000, census towns. And our towns pay up 65-70% of taxes. There are maybe 70-80% of economic activity. We're ruining the future of this country by not focusing on governance all across India. And Bangalore is a shining example of misgovernance, malgovernance, and corruption in urban governance.
Mr. Pai, last question to you. Some of the officers on the ground are saying that the building of Bangalore's outer ring road squarely, the reason why it's so bad because of white topping of concretization of roads, and that is what is leading to flooding. Are you of the opinion that that's a right assessment?
That's all rubbish. There are no drains. The drains are blocked. That's all rubbish. I mean, what kind of concrete? See, please remember, when you have open land and you construct building, you have to concrete some areas. Okay? Rain will fall. Rain has to be carried away in the drains. You have to build stormwater drains. And the problem with Bangalore is the city of lakes.
Yes.
There was a lake behind this place. The Raja Kalve, that is the place where the excess rainwater goes, has been encroached. How did they encroach it when it's there in the map? They're not supposed to build it. By law, you can't build on the Raja Kalve. They've encroached it. Who is the corrupt person who gave approval? Who is the corrupt person who allowed it to happen? Now all these fellows are joking and making this rubbish statement. Oh, we have concretized it. Water would have gone. Water wouldn't have gone. When there's sudden rainfall, the ground will not absorb so much of rainfall in such a short period of time. It has to be drained out. You have to build large drains to go from one lake to another lake to another lake. So this flooding doesn't happen. It's an engineering problem. It's an encroachment problem. It's a corruption problem. It's not that, oh, you have put too much of concrete, so it'll happen. It's all rubbish.
Yes. So here is the IT city, which is losing its sheen because of this constant collapse of urban infrastructure. Mr. Bidur, let me give you the last question. Would you say that urban planners were perhaps not prepared that Bangalore will grow itself into such a way that it will become a city with a GDP being the highest in Karnataka, for example?
I would put it this way. We've been greedy on Bengaluru because, from a pensioner's paradise of yore, today we've come to a situation where a pensioner cannot walk on the roads. because he, she, or they are very worried that the road condition is so bad.
Yes.
So I think, morphing from a pensioner city to this completely city on the edge of the buzzy movement of the metaverse, the future, tech, IoT, etc., it's happened a bit too fast. And I think we've gone greedy on Bengaluru. We have decided that there's a word called development, and we're going to develop the city only in one direction. Development doesn't mean chopping down trees.
Yes.
Development doesn't mean putting up, flyovers all over. It doesn't mean hard-topping roads everywhere. It doesn't mean killing trees and ensuring that they get killed over a period of time because you've, hard-topped the surrounding completely. I think we've got all of that wrong. I think we need to get back to nature. We need to be less greedy. The political class must come out there and say, we have decided we're going to sort Bengaluru out. My dear citizens, come with us and help us sort the city out. We're a thinking city, a city of participative people, and I think people will participate if there's a call. But this call needs to be made by the political class.
Let's see what really happens, Harir Bijur and Mohandas Pai. I really appreciate your time. Thank you so much for joining us. We're slipping into a short break. After that, I'll get you an interesting story. Do hijabi girls, can they really dance? Because there is a major furore that has started over dancing while wearing hijab. That and much more when I return. Stay with us.